Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Annie Z with What If Naruto Had a Sharingan and Was Neglected Part 2. So let's get started. Naruto woke up confused, looking around to see Ayami lying on the ground. "Ayami Nichan," Naruto yelled as he rushed to her, trying to wake her up. Her eyes opened up slowly. "Naruto, is that you? I just had the worst dream ever. The villagers, they tried to kill you and they managed to kill Dad. And you took your revenge by destroying most of the scum," Ayami said, noticing the tears in Naruto's eyes when she mentioned Teochi. She slowly backed up a little. No, please don't tell me. They didn't. Please tell me it wasn't real. It was just a dream, right?" He stuttered out. "Nechan, Gigi died," Naruto said, his voice breaking as Ayami started crying. As everything flashed in her head again, Naruto hugged her for a few moments. As he felt her hand twitch, it went into a fist position. "We're gonna avenge them. We're gonna avenge Dad. Dad was nice to everybody. And those monsters, they took him away from us, from me, from you. They tried to murder him in cold blood. They will pay, Naruto. You hear me? We will make them pay," Ayami yelled out in rage. "Yes, everyone will suffer. We will avenge Ram and Gigi and destroy Konoha Gakure no Sato," Naruto said. Meanwhile, back in Konoha, Minato, Kushina, Dry and Snardy and the Konoha Council, now only the Shinobi Council sat in Konoha Council room. The civilian council, however, was not present, as most of Konoha's civilians had died and only 30% of the ninja force remained. This was an even greater disaster than the initial Nine-Tails attack that happened years ago on October 10th. It was actually seen as the second coming of the Nine-Tails attack, as it happened near the same day. Minato looked at the faces remaining of the leaders of the Konoha Council. He had to fix this. He had to show his people he could do it. He was the fourth Hokage. "A great tragedy has befallen our people. It seems the demon was not as weak as we thought it was," Koharu said. "Yes, we are lucky the demon didn't have all of its powers. If he had, he would have destroyed us," Homaru said. "No, there is one main person to blame for this. Namikaze Minato. You assured us that the demon would take his beating if we let him live. Instead, he lashed out after seeing those pathetic ramen workers die." Danzo yelled, "Why should we keep you as Hokage?" Minato looked at them shocked as most of them started agreeing. "Because I'm the fourth Hokage," Minato says. "I'm sorry to say this, Minato, but he is right. The civilians trusted you to protect them, but you failed them, and many civilians are dead. Most of my clan members are casualties," Hisashi said with rage towards his once good friend. "I don't think you understand, any of you. Konoha is weakened thanks to what the demon did, Danzo. If you try an uprising, I will kill you myself. And as for why you should follow me, well, it's simple. Because without me, the fourth Hokage, the man with the flee on sight order, and the father of the remaining Jinchurikis, what will keep Stone and Cloud from taking advantage of our weakness and attacking and finally destroying Konoha? It's me. My reputation is what keeps the world's peace secured, is what keeps this village safe. I am the man who ended the third great ninja war. I'm not just some figurehead that you can just take power when you want. I have done things. I am the reason we have the alliances with Sand. I am the reason we aren't at war with the Rock or Cloud. You need me. All of you are just pawns and you know it. You are nothing but pathetic weaklings," Minato says, his killing intent flowing out. Hiruzen and Jiraiya looked at Minato shocked. The man has a point. Without Minato, the villagers will take the opportunity. We don't have the QB as defense because, let's be honest, the spies probably already know. "But what about the demon himself? We can't have the demon running around," Tsunade said. "What are we going to do? That boy is powerful. He possesses the power of the Uchiha Clan's Sharingan, but not just any form, the Mangekyou variant," Fugaku explained. "Fugaku, how is Minato related to your clan?" Hisashi demanded. "First of all, don't make demands of me, Hyuga, and secondly, don't try to blame my clan. My clan was there actually helping to fight the village and protect people, and saved the wife and the Uzumaki clan head. And thirdly, why don't you ask Minato? Because I thought he was a Namikaze. There's no loyal Uchiha who gave birth to Minato or helped conceive him," Fugaku said. "I have no clue who my parents were. If they were Uchiha, they might have been ones that went rogue. According to Hiruzen, he found me outside Konoha's gate and I was taken to the Konoha orphanage, Minato says. That is correct. I signed off on letting Minato live in the village myself, Hiruzen says. Enough about that. What do we do about our demon? He's clearly too much of a threat to be left alive, Danzo says. I agree. That Stain is gone too far. He will get a S-rank kill on sight order with 50 billion Ryu as a reward, Minato says, as the council roared in approval, wanting to kill the demon that made their home look weak, that killed many of their clansmen, civilians, friends, family. Agreed, Danzo says. Now what about the second traitor, the ramen seller, Tuichi Ichiraku's daughter, Ayami Ichiraku? She left with the demon. Her father tried to defend the said demon from the mob as well, going against clan law, which resulted in his death and this madness happening, Hisashi said. I'm sorry to say this, but we'll have to put that girl to death as well. She's clearly a bad influence. Agreed, I feel bad for Ayami, but we'll capture her, get the ramen recipe, and kill her with the pet demon that she protects, Krishna says. Well then, since we are all in agreement, I shall pass it. The demon duo known as Ayami and Naruto will have an S-rank bounty on their heads, and this meeting is adjourned, Minato says, finally falling back on his chair, letting out a sigh of relief as they walked out. Time skip, 7 years later. Naruto stood on top of the dead bodies of Zetsu, Obito, Nagato, Konan, and the rest of the Akatsuki, his Sharingan spinning with Ayami as he took the throne of the Rain Village. Well, he didn't, but Ayami did. So Ayami-chan, you will be the puppet leader of this nation while I go back to Uzu. Naruto looked at the only remaining Akatsuki members that he left alive, people who he could buy out. Kakuzu, Deidara, Sasori, Kisame. The rest of you will support Ayami and make sure that her power stays. If any of you try to rebel, well then, just like your leaders, you will die, Naruto says, as he and Ayami hold up swords with blood dripping down from them. From now on, the goal of the Rain Village and the remaining members of Akatsuki is a complete annihilation of Leaf and protection of the Uzu Empire's interests, Naruto says. His eyes started spinning faster as everybody nodded their heads. Good, Naruto says, as he dismissed them. So Naruto-kun, it seems that you took Obito-sensei out. I can't believe he would plan to kill us after he took us in, all for some crazy plan, Ayami said, as Naruto looked cold whenever Obito was mentioned. He loved Obito like a father. When Naruto arrived in Uzugakure, after meeting some people, well, he met Obito. Flashback 7 years ago. Naruto woke up to see Ayami hugging him, as they both thought it was just a dream and Taichi never died, but seeing that he was in a place full of dead Uzumaki clansmen that was scattered everywhere, he knew it was true. We at the Uzuishu land of Whirlpool village, Naruto says as Ayami nodded. Her voice was still gone from what she had seen, her father's murder. It was Naruto and her that were alone. She was not going to blame Naruto. The boy was just a kid. It was those stupid Leaf villagers, they all deserve to die. Let's go, Naruto. Maybe we can find something that can help us destroy Konoha and avenge Dad. From my time in the academy, I learned that the Uzumaki clan were the strongest clan ever. Because unlike Hashirama Senju and the Senju clan, which only had one user of the Mokuton, which could suppress any chakra, the Uzumaki had millions of them, Ayami said. As Naruto nodded and they made their way into the only building that was undamaged. Naruto walked up to it and opened up. Suddenly, dozens of candles lit up as it highlighted a pathway. Naruto walked down the pathway. Uzumaki Naruto, I have been expecting you. You too, Ayami Tuichi, descendant of he who was blessed by the ramen gods. We welcome you, said a voice scaring Naruto and Ayami, because they didn't know who this was. Who are you? Naruto asked. I am Scarlet Uzumaki, the Uzumaki clan head. Before we fell, the voice said as he appeared. Naruto saw a man with pure red hair, wearing a black and red kimono with the clan's logo on it. You see, we knew that you would come. We hoped you would come and free us and revive us. We knew you would come because of the jutsu we developed, which allowed us to see the future. I see, but why were you expecting us, Naruto asked, suspicious. You are right. We Uzumaki were shown how you will be here in need of help to destroy the traitorous Konoha, Scarlet said. Traitors? I know the trait is to me, but why to you? Naruto says. I see, so Krishna never found out. No, not that. She never cared to even find out. After all, I wouldn't be surprised if she helped orchestrate this downfall of our village. You see, before we were invaded, the Konoha seal masters came to learn from us. They asked to see our protection seal so that they could try and reverse engineer it or learn from it. We, being the fools we were, allowed them. And after they left, our seals were breached and basically we were invaded. I suspect the Konoha had a hand in our destruction, but this confirms it, Naruto says, his anger rising as he felt a connection to his people, his clan. You could bring us, young Uzumaki Uchiha, Scarlet said. Bring you back how? Naruto asked, intrigued. Using the Izanagi is a forbidden jutsu that allows you to blur reality and illusion to cast upon the world the user's will at the cost of the user's eyes. What? I don't want to lose my eyes, Naruto says as Ayami stepped in front of Naruto, glaring at the spirit. Look, I don't know who you are, and if you actually relate to my little Naru, but you better think twice before demanding such things, she says, as Scarlet took a step back. She was scary. I guess the young Uzumaki knows how to pick them, Scarlet thought. I do not mean harm. His Mangekyou ability are probably strongest. His first ability is to have every single Mangekyou ability out there, and the second is to have the ability to use all of his abilities without downsides, including the Izanagi, Scarlet said as Naruto looked at him and nodded. I want to try this. I want to try and bring you all of you back, Naruto says. But Naruto, how do we know he's telling the truth and not just using you to revive your clan? Ayami asked as Naruto smiled. He's family, I can trust him. We could trust him, Ayami Nichan, Naruto says as Ayami sighed. Fine, but I'll slaughter them if what they say is a lie and you lose your cute little eyes, Ayami says, hugging a little brother. Naruto's eyes had morphed to the Mangekyou Sharingan. Izanagi, he said. Flashback end. After that, the Uzumaki Empire grew until he was met by a man who hated Minato as much as him, called Obito. Obito offered him a space. However, Naruto planned to use Obito from the beginning to get powerful. What he didn't know was he would get close to Obito, and when he did, well, he was shocked to find out how Obito wanted to use him, wanted to rip the Nine-Tails out of him after he used him as a weapon to get the other Jinchurikis. So Naruto was angry. He destroyed the entire Akatsuki, all of their leaders, leaving only the people he could buy out like Kakuzu and Deidara, Kisame, Sasori and them mans alive, so that Ayami can become the leader of the reign and that they could protect her. Now we go to Konoha's point of view. Minato sat in his office, looking out the windows. He looked at the devastated districts of Konoha. Even after 7 years, it hadn't been repaired. They were left in ruins from his monstrous son. He sighed heavily. Konoha couldn't afford these repairs, especially after the Uzumaki survivors and the Rain village merged to form the Uzumaki Empire. This new empire swiftly had taken over many countries, including the former land of Whirlpool's territory, which were owned by them, the land of spring, the land of snow, the land of water, and several other minor nations. The worst part was now that the now it was Chunin exam season, and the Uzumaki Empire had already shattered Konoha's previous records set by him, and in the second round they nearly killed the loyal Uchiha Sasuke Uchiha and Kibuzuka and Sakura Harano in the preliminary rounds. Currently, Minato is preparing for the upcoming matchups today, hoping to remind potential investors and mission providers that the Yellow Flash and Konoha are still the strongest despite new Uzu Empire's rise. Suddenly, his door was swung open, interrupting his thoughts. Lord Hokage, why would you interrupt me? Do you have no manners? Minato demanded. I'm sorry, Lord Hokage, but I have important news. The Uzu Kage has arrived, or the Uzu Emperor. Just as you instructed me to do, I am here to inform you, the Chunin guarding the gate said. I see, let them in and escort the Kage, Uzu Emperor to the booth, Minato ordered, unaware that it was Naruto, the person who destroyed his village before. Naruto entered the village. His expression was one of disgust. He couldn't help but smirk viciously as he recalled the purpose he is here. Revenge. Today he intended to destroy Konoha before the eyes of the entire world, killing all investors to ensure Konoha's downfall. If the rock, the sand, the mist, or the clouds had issues with him doing this, he would destroy them too. Today, Konoha's borrowed time was over, and he would dismantle this corrupt nation that had killed Old Man Tuichi. And he would relish in every moment of it. In the Kage booth, Naruto smirked as he met the Kazekage. In just a few minutes, his personally trained Genin would defeat all of Konoha's elite, and then they would strike. After a few minutes, Minato arrived and began his speech. Naruto ignored him. His former father's voice pissed him off. Minato suddenly appeared in the Kage booth. Kazekage, Uzu Emperor. It's a pleasure to meet you for the first time, and it's good to see you again. Kazekage-sama, Minato says, extending his hand first towards the Kazekage and then towards Naruto. Naruto looked at his hand in disgust, but shook it, not wanting to give Minato any reason to suspect or dwell on his reaction, which could expose why he was here. The matches then proceeded smoothly, apart from where Naruto's personally trained Uzumaki shinobi fought, where they emerged victorious. Naruto smirked as he watched Minato's greatest teeth, watching his beloved prodigy children, Menma and Mito, get taken to the infirmary after losing to Naruto's own personally trained Uzumaki shinobi. Naruto had taught his genin to use the chakra chain to temporarily disrupt the chakra network between the Biju and the human using it, forcing his former siblings to exert themselves until the chain absorbed the Kyuubi's chakra, creating pseudo Jinchokis, while also shutting down the link pathways due to overloading. Ladies and gentlemen, Minato began as he was about to conclude the training exams, only for Naruto to give the signals as roars were heard and fire rained down upon Konoha, burning districts to ashes, killing lots of people who come to watch, investors, people from the land of fire. As Minato looked up to see dragons that were descending, Uzumaki shinobi jumped off the dragons. What is the meaning of this? Minato yelled, looking at the Uzu Emperor as Naruto body flickered down. No, not body flicker, he teleported down. Back for revenge, Naruto declared as he shed his attire to reveal his battle armor, which also revealed his face. Dear father, you and your village will pay for what you did to old man Tucci. Naruto shouted his Mangekyou Sharingan blazing, forming the sun pattern. All Uzumakis are authorized to kill. It's time for revenge, Naruto yelled. Immediately screams echoed as Konoha civilians, the ones that were remaining, died, fell to Uzumaki blades before the shinobi of Konoha could even react. Naruto looked at Minato, seething in rage. Damn you, it's time for you to pay for what you have done to Konoha. Minato yelled, hurling kunai at Naruto, who just phased through them with Kamui. How do you know that move? That was the move from the man of the night to release the Nine Tails, Minato demanded as Naruto smirked, appearing behind him. None of your business, dear father, Naruto replied as red chakra enveloped him. I'll use the power that you gave me to not protect Konoha but destroy it. None of you monsters deserve to live after what you did to Tucci, Naruto declared, forming a Bijudama. Minato countered it with a Rasengan as the two clashed, but Naruto overwhelmed Minato, using a paralyzing genjutsu before vaporizing him with the Bijudama. Minato-kun! Kushina cried out, sending chains towards Naruto, who just turned intangible. Amaterasu, Naruto uttered as black fire engulfed the ending of life. Naruto then faced Might Guy, who appeared with the gates open. Knowing any higher than 6 feet would kill him, Naruto appeared in front of Guy, slamming Bijudama before he could even activate the 7th gate, ending his life. Naruto then turned back and saw all of Konoha shinobi were dead. Now, his revenge was done. As he looked up and then looked down at the carnage and smiled. But guys, that's all for this whole series. So, hope you enjoyed it. And I just want to speak to you. So guys, I'm going to start doing these small one-shot waves of basically ideas that you want to do. So make sure to leave it down in the comments below which what ifs you want, and I'll tell you if I know the anime, the powers that you want, or basically whatever you want, yeah, and I'll do it. Let me know if you want it to be neglected or not neglected. So yeah, peace.